Hey market friends. Welcome back to Will of the Market. Today we've got a blockbuster update. AMD just inked a major deal with OpenAI. We're going to break down what that means, how AMD compares to its peers, how the market is reacting, and whether this deal is a win or a wild gamble. Think the Avengers assembling alliances in tech. Let's dive in. First, a refresher. AMD, Advanced Micro Devices, is one of the major semiconductor companies. They design and sell CPUs, Ryzen, EPYC, GPUs, accelerators, Instinct series, and other computing infrastructure. They compete in client, server, data center, gaming, and AI compute spaces. So what's this OpenAI deal all about? AMD will supply Instinct MI450 chips to OpenAI over a multi-year partnership to support AI infrastructure, delivering up to 6 gigawatts of compute. The first deployment, 1 gigawatt in mid-2026. As part of that, OpenAI gets a warrant to buy up to 160 million AMD shares, about 10% of outstanding shares, at a cent per share, vesting as AMD hits delivery and share price milestones. This deal is a direct challenge to NVIDIA's dominance in AI chips, because OpenAI is diversifying its supply beyond NVIDIA. Analysts expect this deal to be transformative. Some projections suggest AMD could see tens of billions in new revenue over time from this partnership. In short, AMD is elevating its AI credentials. It's no longer just a CPU plus GPU company. It's now a core player in AI infrastructure. Let's compare AMD with its major competitors and peers. Here, rival strengths, weaknesses, challenges where AMD can shine. NVIDIA, NVDA. Leader in AI, GPU architecture, ecosystem dominance, software stack. Very high valuations, supply constraints, competition pressure. Intel legacy infrastructure, strong brand, integrated manufacturing performance. But lag in GPU, AI, delays, cost structure. AMD's architectural agility, partnerships, software and ecosystem relationships. AMD's strength has always been being full stack. You buy AMD and get access to CPUs plus GPUs plus accelerators. The OpenAI deal potentially tethers it deeper into the AI core infrastructure, which is a higher margin go. Challenges: export controls, supply chain, intense competition, maintaining margin while scaling, and execution risk. So how is the market digesting this? On the news, AMD shares surged over 23% pre-market on that OpenAI deal. Barron's reported an approximately 27% jump in the stock, marking one of its biggest single-day gains in market cap. The stock had already been volatile, up strongly YTD, but swings are sharp. From earnings, AMD's Q2 2025 saw record revenue, $7.7 billion, gross margin approximately 40%, with an operating loss of $134 million. But non-GAAP metrics showed stronger margins and income when adjusting for export control effects. Advanced Micro Devices, Inc. analysts are mixed. The recent earnings caused a drop despite strong guidance. Some see the stock as overextended. Technicals. Some analysts call AMD technically neutral, neither strong buy nor sell, with mixed signals. What's the mood in the room? According to TipRanks, average investor holdings in AMD are about 6.26%, and sentiment is labeled very positive. On forums and social sentiment indices, AMD's sentiment score is tilde 79/100, among the stronger names in semiconductors. Some investors believe the tide is turning, sentiment shifting from NVIDIA towards AMD given this new deal. But skeptics raise volatility, execution risk, export controls, and whether the revenue will scale far enough to justify lofty valuations. Some institutional activity. ARK Invest, Cathie Wood's funds, reportedly increased its AMD position, citing the AI roadmap. So sentiment is bullish, but cautious. It's not all lights-out optimism, there's realism baked in. Borrowing the Dark Knight's line, you either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. AMD is entering that hero phase, but the villain side is real risk. Upside scenarios. OpenAI deal scales exactly as promised, and revenue streams explode. AMD captures more AI data center share from NVIDIA. Export control headwinds ease, AMD expands into global markets. Software stack ecosystem improvements attract developers and partners. Valuation re-rating as AMD becomes viewed as a core AI player. Risk, downside scenarios. Deal execution delays or failures. Export controls, regulation, geopolitical risk halting component sales. Sustained margin pressure from supply chain, input costs. Competition from NVIDIA, Intel, or emerging AI chip startups ripping margin share. The stock gets ahead of fundamentals and retreats. If AMD were a character in Game of Thrones, it's Daenerys now. Rising, powerful, but vulnerable to adversity and betrayal. The OpenAI deal is a major chapter in AMD's story. It gives them a seat at the AI infrastructure table. My take. AMD is now must-watch, not just a chip stock. This deal could be a turning point. But I wouldn't bet the ranch. Start with conviction, bet carefully, and keep a close eye on execution, regulation, and competitive moves. If you enjoyed this, hit that like, subscribe, and drop AMD in the comments if you want a head-to-head AMD versus NVIDIA versus Intel in the AI war. Until next trade, may your gains be strong and your mistakes small.